If you were to look at your life, what would you say is the most on-brand thing you've ever done?
I would say move to India. And then like the part two of that, like making, like building my own house, like designing my own house for sure. Backstory, tiny bit. I had a house in 2014 that I was about to renovate. My aunt was in Canada that summer and I was like house sitting for her dog at that time. There was an electrical fire when I wasn't in the house and her house burnt down. And she's like, what do I do? I'm like, you should take this house, but you should have it. And then I found the house that I'm currently in now, which would have been like 2014, 2015. The first renovation was like major DIY, like painting, like using a stencil to paint the floors, all of that. But then during COVID, I've been like living in this house. It's a very small house, like 340 square feet for the entire thing. And I'd been living in it for like, at that point, like 4 or 5 years. And as a designer, you always think like, how could this be better? Like how could it really work for me? And then in 2020, I was like, the house, it was really old at that point, like it needed work. So I worked with a carpenter and a mason to like basically like tear it down to the structure and then like rebuild it. And I got to rebuild it where it fit me like so precisely. Like my closet, I like measured everything that needed to go in there, like precisely, like, and so like every little thing about it got to fit me. And I'd show the carpenter drawings and he'd be like, he's like never done that before. I'm like, trust me. And he would go with it, he would do it. And then after he'd stand back and he'd be like, oh wow, like that looks really, really good. And so it's like that high standard, like the perfectionism, I got to do it, like bring it to like the super aesthetic where it fit me perfectly, like the spaciousness of like who I am and like the space I wanted to create it within, but to have it be warm and cozy and friendly. And so I got to like just make it like perfectly me. Like my house feels like a hug. And I feel like when people walk into my house, they can like understand almost who I am without even knowing me.